Come and eat.
But just as he'd finished, there came thundering footsteps, which seemed to shake even the thick walls of the castle.
My husband is back. Now, quickly, you must hide. Hide!
So she lifted Jack up and popped him into an empty kettle. No sooner had the giantess hidden Jack than her husband roared out.
3, 5, 4, 5. I smell the flesh of an islander. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
My silly husband. That is just the smell of the creeps from the Sento's boardwalk I bought for you. Now you must sit and eat.
So the giant sat down and his wife served him the tallest stack of crepes you've ever seen. After gulping his meal down, the giant bellowed out.
Wife,
Yes.
bring me my money. I want to count them.
So his wife brought him 2 big bags full of money, and the giant began to count his treasure.
1, 2, 3.
But soon he became so sleepy that his head began to nod, and soon he started to snore. It was like the rumbling of thunder. The giant's wife turned to household chores while her husband dozed. Now, how many of you out there can snore really, really, really loudly, as loud as the giant can? Can I hear some snores from the audience? How about you, sweetheart? Let's hear you snore. Oh, wow, well done. What about you, sweetie? Oh, and what about you, sweetheart? Can you snore? Okay, there. Okay, can you snore? No? Okay, what about you? Let's hear you snore. Wow, well done. Let's give all our snorers a round of applause. Fantastic. Now that was when Jack crept out of the kettle, made his way across the table, and grabbed as much of the giant's stolen treasure as he could stuff into his pockets, and raced out of the castle. He made his way down the beanstalk back to the village before the giant awoke. The next day, Jack decided that he would like to visit the land of the giant and maybe recover some of the things the giant had taken from the village over the years. So what did he do, boys and girls? That's right, he climbed the beanstalk again.
Yes. Now, boys and girls, would you like to climb with me again?
Who's ready for round 2?
Let's go.
Okay, all right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Climb up, don't. So he climbed up, hand up. It's a very tall beanstalk. Come on, boys and girls, you know what to say to support Jack. Say, come on, Jack. All right, fantastic. Until he got to the top of the beanstalk once again and walked to the giant's castle. The giantess saw Jack.
Oh, you again. I told you to not come back up.
But then, may I have something to eat before I start my climb back down to my house?
Boys and girls, must I feed this little one? I must feed him. Okay, then I must feed him. They say I must feed you, so I will feed you. But you must be very quick, because my husband, the giant, will be back very soon, and he will eat you up, bones and all.
So, the kind-hearted giantess, on the advice of a very, very kind-hearted audience, invited Jack to come into the kitchen, where she set before him enough food for a week. Scarcely had Jack begun to eat, then there was a great rumbling like an earthquake, and the giantess had only time to pop Jack into the sugar bowl, when in rumbled... Who do you think rumbled in, boys and girls?
Giant!
The giant! Let's hear that louder. In rumbled...
I smell the flesh of an islander. Be he alive or be he dead, I'll grind his bones to make my bread.
Oh, my husband, you are so silly. That is just the smell of the laksa. I bought from Taste of Asia for you. Now you must sit and eat.
The giant grunted, then tucked into his meal. He finished with a large... then roared.
Why? Bring me my goose!
The giant's wife brought him his magical goose, which she placed on the table.
Nay!
Said the giant, and the magical goose clucked and laid a golden egg.
You silly goose! Why can't you aim properly? Now I have to search for that golden egg.
You see, boys and girls, this was a magical but very, very clumsy goose.
Now where is it? Aha!
My husband, have you found it?
I found it!
Fantastic.
Now, please.
Commanded the giant a second time. The magical goose clucked and squawked and laid another golden egg.
Now, please.
Roared the giant a third time, and the magical goose grunted, and with a sigh laid a third golden egg.
That shall be enough for now.
The giant stretched out to take a nap. Let's hear some snores from the audience, okay, boys and girls? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you snore louder than me? Ooh, well done, well done. Now, as soon as the giant began to snore, Jack crept out of the sugar bowl. And tiptoed across the enormous table. He snatched up the little magical goose and made a mad dash for the door. But just then, the magical goose began to cackle loudly and awoke the sleeping giant. With a fearful roar, the angry giant chased after Jack, who held the magical goose tightly and ran out the front door and down the road away from the giant's castle, faster than he had ever run before. All right, boys and girls, are you ready to run away with Jack? Okay, it's the reverse action, okay? Climb down, because if you climb up, you'll come back to the giant, okay? So climb down. 1, 2, 3. Climb up, come on. Jack had reached the beanstalk and began to climb down as fast as he was able to. By the time the giant had reached the beanstalk, Jack was nearly halfway to his house. The giant began to climb down too, but the stalk, as big as it was, couldn't take the weight of the raging giant. And with a loud snap, the beanstalk's main stem broke, and the giant tumbled out of the sky.
The bubble!
He landed with a huge crash that threw up dirt and rocks, creating Mount India that stands to this day. What of Jack and his mother? Well, the magical goose was given a good home and happily laid golden eggs for them, but only one a day, which was more than enough for Jack and his mother. In fact, they had enough to help others in the village rebuild and make the island of Sentosa, Asia's favorite playground where we play to bond with our loved ones. The end.